Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Mm.
So your camera's going all wonky.
How so?
It looks very pixelated. I'm looking at the YouTube feed, and
Oh,
either that or it's been a rough morning for you, and you're just blurry in general.
well,
Yeah, it was just fine until we just started. So hopefully it'll clear up.
okay. Not
Well
sure.
then.
Well then. Not sure what I can do on my end. Hopefully it'll clear itself up.
Yeah. I can hear you fine
Yeah.
though. That's
Okay.
the big thing.
All right. Well, let's well, I guess we'll say hello to everybody in the chat. Good morning. Thanks for joining.
I see Dave.
And,
I see Michael. Michael's been badge hunting, he says. So he's been sniping Apple badges off of eBay.
Oh, just the badges, the little,
Just
the little 6-color Apple logoed little decal things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Scarlet Swordfish. Hello.
Well, let's start the show.
Sure.
In earnest. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 625 for September 18th, 2022. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
Of course, we're doing the YouTube thing, and I must have bandwidth issues here at the house.
Yeah, it's weird.
Would explain the blurriness. It's still blurry out there, right?
Yeah.
That's a first, right? For here.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it was fine until we just started the feed, so very bizarre. Well,
I'm not showing much anyway right now. Maybe it'll clear up by the time I have some stuff to show and tell.
Yeah.
Today. Oh, we had announced what we're going to talk about. We had an eBay find. It was the Apple 5.25-inch PC external disk drive. Came up on the eBay finds and decided that we would talk more about it.
Yeah, I didn't really know much about it personally.
Yeah, I have one. No, I didn't. Well, I made a great discovery about it, which I'll save for later.
Oh, okay.
About my drive, my particular drive. So that's a little exciting. I didn't recall. It's been so long since I've had that and not really looked at it. Let's see. And we've got eBay finds. We've got a lot of news. Lots of things happening out there. So why don't we take a short break and we'll be back with eBay finds. Okay. Let's see. We'll get the eBay finds queued up. Did we clarify what the badges?
Correct. Yes.
Pins.
Yeah. He's.
So are they case badges? Oh, I see.
Right.
Just going on just hoarding them all up. I did that for a while. I did that for 6-color anything, but especially small things.
Sure.
Like that. Yeah, tie tags, pins,
the tie tags,
and everything. I've got tags. Somewhere I have a bin full of them. Necklaces, earrings, lots of.
What about those weird Apple logo stickers that were embroidered?
Oh yeah,
fabric.
I got like spools of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know what those were supposed to be. What
those have been created for? Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because they're really small. They're like the size of a case badge. It'd be very difficult to sew them.
Oh, I
anything,
thought
but
they were a little
they
bit. They're
just
like
they
more
had
like a
stick,
quarter, I think.
more like a dime, and I gave you some.
Yeah, yeah, I've got
Uh,
some around here somewhere.
but they had a sticky back as if you were
Yeah.
just supposed to stick them on something, and it looked like like you had an embroidered 6-color Apple logo on whatever you want. 50 Shades of Beige. Yes, you got some of those.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about the same thing, there's a lag between when I talk and when somebody types. Okay, let's go.
All right.
Let's go to
To the
these.
bays.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. It's time for eBay finds. Last week we had the cutaway Macintosh poster. I thought reasonably priced with a buy it now of $349 and a make an offer on top of that. So you could maybe get it for a little bit less than that starting price. Still there. Still available. This one's in good shape. Original one. Surprised it didn't go. And then we also had, this is weird. I saved the link, I thought, to the Apple external floppy drive, the 5 1/4 inch that we're going to talk
Right.
about later. And then when I went back to look at the link, it was like it said, we found something similar. Like
Oh,
we didn't
weird.
have
So, like the other one
what you were looking.
disappeared or something?
I
Very,
don't
very
know.
bizarre.
It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what happened. So they presented this one to me, which is I thought was hilarious because this one is not in the same condition. It was the same
It's got
price.
a
I remember
line.
it does have a tan line. It has has a pretty bad yellowing, and the yellowing
Yeah.
is in the shape of the
Of,
cable.
of the cable and connector. So obviously that cable and connector sat right there
Yeah.
for years.
Right.
Years to get that effect. That
And
is
they
crazy.
moved it to the side so you could see. I guess so you could see what it used to look like, the case. I
Right,
don't know.
right,
I would have
yeah.
left it right there so there wasn't such a
That's
contrast.
funny.
But anyway, there's still a bunch of these out there rolling around at different prices. So anyway, okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, well, they set I think it was just missing one volume, but this was inside Macintosh. They're like 30 some volumes. They wanted to buy it now, $499.99. Did not sell. Still a make an offer is an option to you. Okay, we'll start with this. It's a little pamphlet. How many pages is this thing? 14 pages. It was distributed to retailers in 1995. The title is Vintage Macintosh Apple Corporate Identity Standards for Resellers. And so there's the cover. It says right there, Apple Corporate Identity Standards for Resellers. And there's a photo which includes a sign with, and I have that sign. I should have.
Oh,
Maybe during
nice.
the break, I think I have that sign somewhere. A square sign, 6-color Apple logo in the middle, authorized reseller on the bottom, and then sadly they now maybe the rest of this is someplace. I'm sure somebody must have uploaded this at some point, but then they do post at least one of the pages, and it looks like it has a fold out too.
Oh, okay.
And this particular one is it says using an Apple logo type or signature properly. And it's written in 4 different languages.
Mm.
And it shows you, how to present the logo.
Right. How much space you're supposed to have around the logo. Yeah, they usually have a lot of different rules for officially how to use it. Even our logos for work. There are guidelines as to how
not even
close
guidelines,
things can get.
Yeah, and then the facing page has other Apple signatures, including the Mac OS badge and the various forms of it, and the Newton badge. And then they have the don't do's along the bottom. You can see
Right.
like, do not redraw or distort the Apple logo in any way. Do not use the Apple logo as a word or bullet. Do not use the Apple logo as a background for text or graphics. And do not use multiple Apple logos or signatures as a repeated pattern, such as for a border design. So yeah, you can see how people could just say, well, we'll just do whatever we want. I said, no.
Right. Yeah.
No, don't do that. Very strict guidelines. So, a little interesting document from Apple's past. I'm sure they have something today
This
very similar.
seems pretty reasonably priced for how nice a shape it's in.
$29 is the buy it now, no make an offer. And I think it's doesn't. Where is it shipped from overseas? International. I'm trying to figure out where this thing is. It's just $4.99. It looks like it's overseas, but I'm having a hard time from the listing to deduce that. But there it is. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh, Stockholm, Sweden.
Sweden. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like an international version. Hence the 4 languages. That is Swedish.
Right,
one of those languages. I don't see such. Looks like French, Spanish, and Japanese. All right. Moving on.
We have this. So I was over at Joy of Tech, and which I'm sure all our listeners are familiar with it, but if not, go to Joy of Tech and enjoy. So Nitrozac, one of the people that does Joy of Tech, has done this really amazing painting. It took me a minute actually to see the Apple logo in it. It's a very, very stylized, very neat. Could you go to the painting, the one picture that shows the close up of the chunkiness of the paint?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. I mean, it's just it's like, I love the technique. It's globs of way crazy different colors, but you can see overall the effect of a 6-color Apple logo. This painting is 30 by 24. It's a stretched canvas over a wooden frame. It's about 1.5 inches thick. It's got the bidder, there'll be a Nitrozac's signature on the back, as well as her thumbprint to verify. And it is pricey. I mean, it's a beautiful original piece of art. Starting price, it's bidding. Starting bid $1,450. Currently at 0 bids. Shipping to us in the United States, because it's shipping out of Canada, would be $150 for economy shipping, or free local pickup if you're in Union Bay, British Columbia, Canada. I really wish I could describe it better to our listeners. It is, man, I just love the colors. It's so pretty.
I like the text in here. It says, my painting evokes a feeling of motion and light. Looking at the shapes and streaks and globs of vibrant color, you'll see different images and shapes in different lighting conditions, daylight or illuminated. The colors are bright and electrifying. The painting begs your eye to find the Apple logo. Then your eye discovers other images amongst the color and shapes. It makes such an interesting piece, one you will never tire of looking at. Yeah, I mean, there's an abstract nature to it. So as you stare at it from different angles, you might things might reveal themselves. I don't know that there's anything deliberately there.
Again, the thickness of the paint.
Yeah, we go back to the detail, and you can see just the chunks of whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the globs, and yeah, very wild. I think I need this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I showed it to my wife, and she said, "Oh, that's amazing." And,
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, your wife is a really good artist too. So,
yeah, would that look good behind me instead of the?
It would look better behind me, but
well, maybe we could pass it around.
Can you share Lisa painting? Anyway, this is 3 days ago. This ends this coming Wednesday.
I wonder if I got it, if she would throw in
like
a picture of
custom,
you and me. Yeah,
that's what I was wondering. Yeah, if you could work a deal,
sweeten the deal, because does she still do that? Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
I used to do the caricatures.
Because we've thought about that before, doing
commissioning, right? We never got around to it. Okay, let's move on to this. And if you're in the live stream, you see that this, or part of this anyway, has been behind me since we started. Well, what is this? The title says vintage original 1980s personal computer decal Apple Store display, 74 inches long.
So when I first saw this, I thought it was just on a white. I thought it was a white background. I didn't realize this was transparent.
Yeah, it says the decal is in new condition, has some slight stains since it's 40 years old, measures 74 inches by 16 and a half inches tall. We'll ship it rolled in a poster tube. So yeah, let's see if we.
So is yours on a white background, or is yours clear like this also, and you just have it on a piece of white board?
Oh, very good question. All good questions.
Okay.
Mine is an original one that I got many, many years ago. It was an eBay auction or something, and it doesn't have the full. Well, or is it the full? Let me look. Yeah, see, it doesn't have that second part. It's a two-part decal, right?
Right.
Much like you recreated on your roof. If you show people,
Yeah, I've got. There we go.
Yeah, so he recreated it there.
Mm-hmm.
So mine is just part of it, the first part, and I don't know because it was already framed. It's behind plexiglass, and it's on a really heavy piece of particle board.
Mm.
And I didn't have room in the other place for it for years, so it's went in the attic and sat there forever. But I think, and I don't know if you can see from the video, mine's a little dirty, needs some cleaning up. I think it could be if I remove the plexiglass, I think I could clean out the dust and the little mold or whatever's in there. Although there's something about it being in the condition it is, like it was pulled off the outside of a store or something. Something about it that makes it look cooler, all aged like that.
Well, if you wanted to get a pristine one, how much is it going to run you?
Well, there is a make an offer, but if you want to buy it now, it's going to cost you one penny shy of $1,000. Yeah, and I think you could, if you could find the right shop, and they could spin you one of these decals, right? Probably for less than that. But this is way
it's
cool.
harder with the clear. If you're just getting a solid print, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
But
the clear.
Trying to do the clear like that's different matter because
and so you've got, and for the I don't think we've described it enough for the listening audience, but it's a 6-color Apple logo with a trailing 6-color stripe that extends this full length, and then on the bottom of, I guess, the right half of this, it says Apple Personal Computers in Modern Textura. So this is this is going way back, early to mid 80s or earlier potentially. It doesn't have the weirder Apple logo, so it's doesn't have that chopped bit. Yeah, and it's they would have stuck these on whatever time. And in this case, and so what I don't know on mine is if the decal is just in there and or is actually applied to that piece of particle board.
Well, I was looking at the stickers. It looks like these would go on the inside of a window because it looks like the adhesive strip is on the front. So I'm thinking these would be like in a dealer window. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? And I can see the adhesive. There is a strip.
Okay. Well, there you go then.
Top, just the top, just like
the top,
the one here. Yeah. So,
okay.
There's a slight discoloration along the top that shows that adhesive strip as if it was stuck to the inside of this piece of plexiglass. So yeah, it's quite possible that I could remove it from this, clean it up, and I'd have at least part of it. Now this one's great because it's got the trailing edge too, which is shown here, and you've got the full length. So you could wrap it around a corner.
Full screen again.
I'm clicking through and missing here. Yeah. So you could.
There we go.
You could even have it wrap around the corner of a building or a window or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, way cool, way expensive for me. I think this has to come down quite a bit. I guess I suppose I can why don't I make a crazy offer and just see if they'll take it. What offer shall I? Oh, you can't. Oh, I was thinking I had canned offers. I'm going to make an offer. See what happens. What do you think I offered?
Oh goodness, 700.
No.
What did you offer?
I put a couple $100 just to see.
Oh, did it not reject you automatically? Sometimes you'll do that. They've got the make an offer, but they also have a limit to. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do a penny. Sorry.
Yeah. Dave reports that I'm not blurry anymore, which is good news since I've been showing stuff behind me.
Well, and bad news. Michael Mulhern, 50 Shades of Beige, has said that for some mysterious reason, that style brochure is no longer available.
Oh, I wonder why. Do we have a buy it now? Is that right? Let me look at that. So he's gonna archive that thing. Yep. The listing has ended. We have. Is that the first time?
How'd that happen? Oh my goodness!
History that we had something just.
No, I'm pretty sure Michael's done this before. Listening to us.
Okay. All right. Well, so much for that. We might have to edit that part out then and do another one. Okay. Let's see here. That's funny. Well, good news for us is he's gonna probably make some good scans of that and upload it.
He is a good archivist. Yes.
We will all win. Okay, let's get into the main thing here. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we were talking about the Apple PC. That's hard to say that together, right? The Apple PC 5 1/4 inch drive. Now, Apple is known for killing formats by removing, right? Famously, the iMac did not come with a 3.5 inch floppy. Computers stopped coming with CD-ROMs and all that, getting rid of the media formats. But back then, they actually released a peripheral that was from, in their minds, an obsolete format. However, people using Apple computers were often in offices and other environments that were filled with PCs that were still very much using 5 1/4 inch floppies. And so, without there being really a robust third-party market for solutions to help integrate a Mac into a PC environment, they kind of had to do it themselves. It did turn out later, and actually, at the time of the release of this, there actually were third-party solutions, and we'll talk about that in a moment, that were far and away better than this. So, they were trying to help everybody out, and I mean, as a result, they're kind of late to the game and had something that was very expensive and not very full-featured. But there it is. This is the kind of the data sheet for this thing. The Apple PC 5 1/4 inch drive is ideal for Macintosh personal computer users who want to use data created with MS-DOS applications. And so you could take a MS-DOS formatted disk, 360K, then connect this drive, and you had to connect this drive to a very specific cards because it did not have a standard interface that your computer already had. So you had to connect it via a couple of different ways. Apple had 2 cards, right? They had one for the Mac 2 and one for an SE that you could use an interface card. Or there were some third party by that time cards that would use it. I guess AST and Orange Micro. Let me come back here to look at this. And really that was it. It was just transferring files, and the kinds of files were very limited.
And sounds like it's mostly just for
like text files,
like database text.
Right. But if your options were nothing or re-enter all the data,
sure,
which could be very costly and time consuming, this would be great. And it didn't even integrate with your Mac desktop or anything. You had to use the file exchange program.
Oh wow.
So it was sort of tedious. Yeah.
You had so it was a multiple step, even with that drive, it was still a multiple step process, huh? What was the? I noticed that in that previous diagram, it showed an Apple II GS in there as well.
It did, yeah. So I guess if you wanted to keep on going, you could then go from your Mac to your Apple II.
Oh wow!
I suppose once you got on a 3.5 inch or 3.5 inch floppy, could you
Right.
import
Well, I
those
mean, the
into
Apple II GS, you could do a 5.25 inch.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it looks like you had to have the Mac as an intermediary.
Weird. Very
Right.
bizarre.
Very bizarre. But anyway, so this drive back in 1988 when it came out retailed for $399, which in today's dollars that's like $1,000. So it was a pretty pricey. But that did not include the cost of these interface cards, and I could not. I tried to find what was the price of these things. I gotta imagine they were in the $200-$300 range.
Hundreds, yeah.
Yeah. So then you got to tack that on, and so here's the Macintosh 2 PC drive card. Look at how big that thing is.
Well, that's why I was amazed the fact that that there's also one for the SE when I saw the size of the card for the 2.
Yeah, and I did find one for sale, the Mac 2.
Oh wow!
Which maybe you can find one if you hunt around more. If somebody wants $600 for that thing. But yeah, here's the SE version. Okay, and again, I don't know what these things originally sold for, but that's a lot of card, a lot of money for that's all it does is connect to that drive.
Yeah,
allow you to transfer a limited number of file formats. This one I did find at this site, fossilcomputers.com. They seem to have one in the original box for $119
for the SE version. Yeah. Wow, so that's pretty darn reasonable if somebody was going to play around, because we did like you said, the drives themselves have quite a range of prices. Fairly reasonable to are you insane prices, but you could probably pick one up. So you could play around with this for probably about $300,
maybe less. Yeah. And I love this. I love that this store has this card from 1988, and you can buy it with Apple Pay. You know, I mean,
talk about. You said that site is called fossilcomputers.com. I have to check that out. I've never been there.
So you can sit there on your phone and just do a face scan on your Apple phone and buy this card from 1980. It just kind of blows your mind. And there's a lot of great pictures here of this card. You know, the original box looks like it's in decent shape. It's not sealed or anything, so they've taken it out here, and hopefully this is in good shape. It doesn't need any doesn't have leaky caps or anything. You know, the Mac 2 one that I was showing that was for sale wherever I had that, that one was actually recapped, they say.
Oh wow.
Hence
maybe I didn't even see caps price on the SE one.
They're there. You can there we go.
Nope. Oh, one. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they have no promise of this thing working, because they say it might possibly be new and never used. It looks like it's in fantastic shape. So yeah, it even has the little port connector.
Yeah, for the back plate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you wanted to start messing with this, if you got the parts, it may take a little finagling. Over on Tinker Different, Slow Mac user did a little bit of experimenting, and so you go over there, just search on it. Slow Mac user put up the page all about the Apple PC 5.25 inch drive, and there's some good info there, including some software solutions that work possibly better than the Apple File Exchange. I was talking about other options at the time. So here's a page from Macworld 1988, February. And it's called Foreign Interpreters for Hire. So they describe the Apple solution, but then also the Dana file. And the Dana file, guess what? It uses SCSI.
Oh.
Doesn't that make a lot of sense?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And it's also, it's kind of configurable on what media it accepts. You can do this. It has the stacking design. So it includes 2 drives. And so you can have a 3.5 inch and a
Oh, wow.
360K version or a 7 or whatever. There's different formats. So it's a little more flexible on what you can bring to it, and then presumably, export and whatever. So, and it's way cheaper. Well, not way cheaper. Yeah, probably all when you consider everything, the interface cards that you need to buy and all that.
Sure.
Is probably a better value.
Probably close. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was talking about the drive I have, and gosh, I'm sure this was an eBay pickup, probably, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. I would put this up against any other drive on the planet for pristine
Looks.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
this
that
thing is zero yelling, no marks. Even the 4 feet are intact. It is super clean, but it gets better than that.
Go on.
And it is cool. Well, these drives even have, and it's kind of heavy. They have the little security slot.
Oh, sure, yeah, the security slot.
But other than that, it's not. Not much to it. Just a rectangular box here. But what's cool about mine? Let's see. I'll go full screen here.
Yeah.
Is that?
Oh, nice.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Property of Apple Computers. So this was used by them, huh?
Yeah. I had forgotten all about this, but yeah, property of Apple Computer Incorporated is on one sticker with a barcode, and the other one is property of Apple Computer Incorporated expensed equipment and another barcode, and they had marked out the barcode for some reason. So, and it's not like this is a prototype or anything. It doesn't have any of those indications. It has looks like a regular serial number, but yeah, I mean, this one was not sold to a user. So, well, until I got it, I guess. But I don't know. Of course, I don't remember the story of who had it, who sold it to me, and everything. But there you go. That's mine.
Pretty cool.
I did go hunting around to see if I could find if I had a card. I may have a card for it, but it's nearly impossible to find what I have.
Have you actually looked in your to see?
No, I don't think it's in there because I never tried to use it in the past. I think maybe it came with a card when I got it, and I put the card someplace else. So, anyway, so that's the Apple PC 5.25 inch floppy drive.
Nice.
John's fridge is open.
Oh, that's because it's off. I'm hopefully doing a LAN party in sometime in a month, and I'll turn it on and close it. Yeah, I didn't want it to get musty smelling in there. So thank you though.
I don't even know what you're talking about. A real fridge?
Yep.
Oh, people are really
soda fridge out here. They're noticing
really
things
into your
into my messy computer room.
Okay, let's move on to the news. In 3, 2, 1. There was an interview. I forget what the purpose of it was, but they had Tim Cook, they had Johnny Ive, and they had Steve Jobs' widow, Maureen Powell Jobs, and they were getting together to talk, I guess mainly about Steve and his legacy. And they announced the Steve Jobs Archive, which is at stevejobsarchive.com. And it's kind of an interesting thing. It looks like it's chronological, and it's just a collection of stuff, letters and emails, and there's some video clips and whatever. So this, when you open it up, this is what you see. It's like extremely minimal, right? Steve Jobs Archive, and you just start scrolling, and It starts off with an email that he wrote to himself on September 2nd, 2010. I grow little of the food I eat, and of the little I do grow, I did not breed or perfect the seeds. Obviously, he had gone mad at this point. I don't know what no. Some interesting musings. I do not make any of my own clothing. I speak a language I did not invent or refine. I did not discover the mathematics I use. And it goes on and on. At the end, it finishes, it says, I did not invent the transistor, the microprocessor, object-oriented programming, or most of the technology I work with. I love and admire my species, living and dead, and I am totally dependent on them for my life and well-being.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting. A lot of people, the detractors of Steve Jobs will say that, well, let's say the people that don't detract will say how much he invented, right? He's often this innovator and the inventor and all this stuff, but in truth, and he kind of admits as much, that about how all this stuff was just capitalizes upon. So, and then there's some quotes in here from an internal meeting, and you just kind of just scroll through, and if you like something, you can click on it. Like here's a quote: "You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future." And that was part of the commencement address. You can click on there. It was impossible to. And well, there was sound for a second, and now it's I don't know what happened. But there's audio clips, video clips. You can go all the way back to even 1984. Here's a quote: "Things get more refined as you make mistakes and do them. So I've had a chance to make a lot of mistakes." Interview with Michael Moritz, and you click on there, and
things get more refined as you make mistakes to do them. So I've had a chance to make a lot of mistakes. Your aesthetics get better as you make mistakes. But a real big thing is, the way I've always felt is that if you're going to make something, it doesn't take any more energy, and rarely does it take more money to make it really great. All it takes is a little more time, not that much more, and a willingness to do so, a willingness to persevere until it's really great.
It kind of reminds me of like if you were in a museum, right? There was a Steve Jobs exhibit, and you're kind of walking through these dark hallways, and there'd just be these. You almost have to like black out the room and really focus on the words or the audio. Anyway, that's stevejobsarchive.com. This was linked in through Hackaday. The website, I don't know, it's public void. It's kind of a weird URL, but it's called PaperMac. And Dave Luna hacked a Mac Classic 2, like a lot of people have done, but he took advantage of a 16-color grayscale e-ink screen.
Okay.
To replace the CRT, using a Raspberry Pi in there that runs it says a Google's photo library in a System 7-like desktop environment, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming the refresh rate on ePaper is not going to be, you're not going to be running anything too fast on that.
Yeah. And so there's a diagram of the parts, and so it's a WaveShare 9.7-inch ePaper display.
Nice.
So yeah, kind of an interesting way to go. The e-ink, and of course it evokes a similar look and feel, right? To
absolutely. Yeah.
Classic Macs of that age. We also got to throw in a couple NanoRaptor creations. This is the Macintosh PowerBook G3 Dual Wide, the ultimate writing-free distraction machine. And gosh, what can you say about this thing? This is it's very widescreen. It's got is that like a Pismo sort of split keyboard?
It absolutely is. Yeah. I mean, you look at the trackpad, and the mouse button is definitely Pismo based. Yeah.
And so you have but the trackpad and button is in between the two halves of the keyboard.
When I first saw this, she should have had like a banana for scale, because I thought maybe it was a handheld. That was like a thumb sized keyboard.
Ah. Yeah, and somehow it packs. It looks like there's still a CD-ROM drawer in there, so the whole depth of this thing is occupied by a CD-ROM bay. But really cool creation. And then one a little more modern and consistent with recent is this thing. There's no caption. This thing, I remember reading about this. There's like this condition that people have that suffer from that if you are exposed to like a lot of little apertures like this, not even apertures, just circles and things,
A lot of
that
circles,
kind of, you know what I'm talking about? Maybe somebody in the chat knows, where you get this sort of adverse reaction.
I think Nikola Tesla actually had an aversion to. I'm serious. I think he had some sort of like sphere circle aversion. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a bunch of eyes staring at you, and it's something creepy about it. And I kind of like, they're
kind of like a spider. You get
trypophobia.
Too many eyes. Too many eyes for.
Thank you, Scarlet Swordfish. Trypophobia. Well, I must have a little bit of that because I can't look at this too long. So, Nanoraptor took an iPhone 14, looks like a Pro Max, and then copied and pasted a bunch of camera lenses on the back. So now you have
well, it's got to be what about okay,
something like that. Yeah, maybe that's where we're going with that design, but that's cool. And John, you found this the Miss Ditto on Twitter.
Yeah. So first, I had two friends send me this tweet about this person who's trying to find software for a card they have. It is a card for the PC. In this case, like they show there's vintage pictures of it running in like a 386, and it lets you run Macintosh software. It's a card with Apple ROMs on it, a 68K processor. It is a whole system on a card. It was made by, it's a Hydra Systems and/or One card. And this poor person got one of these cards off of eBay a few years ago, but cannot find the software. So they can't do anything with this card that they really want to. So they're actually offering $500 to anyone who can supply them with software. He's got lots of, he or she's got lots of great information on the card.
There's a photo here of the card with 3 floppy disks and the user's guide and a Y cable.
Y cable. Similar to, like, I'm guessing like the Apple IIe card for the Mac, that lets you connect with peripherals.
And there's a picture of it in operation, running on a compact, like a 386, booting up Mac OS. I wasn't familiar with this Hydra card.
No, nor I.
I obviously don't have the software, so I can't help. But
and there's replies from people saying that they looked on Macintosh Garden, Mac GUI, Macintosh Repository,
all the usual places,
Internet Archive, all the usual places, exactly.
I wish I could help, but if you can help, get a hold of Miss Ditto and collect your $500. Okay, I don't know if we've talked about this YouTube channel. It's Mr. Macintosh, and so kudos for adopting the name Mr. Macintosh, complete with the logo.
Nice with the logo, fantastic. Yep,
the original Mr. Macintosh, which of course was a feature that I think it was Steve Jobs that had this idea that this Mr. Macintosh character would appear sometimes out of nowhere, maybe, and offer you advice or help you with tasks. And that never came to be in software, but Mr. Macintosh did appear etched on some circuit boards, various times. So anyway, Mr. Macintosh gives us a guide, the ultimate guide, I should say, on getting Big Sur on older Macintoshes, going back to 2008, using something called the Open Core Legacy Patcher.
Yeah, so it's basically similar to your Hackintoshing your own Macintosh. to get this to run on there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and we've seen this over the years with Mac OS 10 and other operating systems where Apple drew their line because they weren't going to support it because they didn't want to. I'm sure there's a huge testing regimen, right, to confirm operations on various systems, and I know there's also other performance things that they won't want to deal with, or whatever the case may be. So they draw the line,
Sure.
and obviously you could probably get it working with it, and sometimes just bypassing Apple's own self-implemented restrictions for installation, just because they don't want you to install because they haven't blessed it, so they're just going to stop you. And so stuff like this allows you to get around that, and it's buyer beware, obviously. But I looked through the comments. There's a lot of people that are very thankful to extend the life of their older Macs. So, if you're running something as old as 2008, well, you want to take the chance and you want Big Sur, go to Mr. Macintosh on YouTube. Okay, look at that. That's cool. You gonna try it? You have an iMac candidate.
I have, but I have my my iMac that I was using for the podcast. So it's like what is it? 2010, 2011. Yeah, I figure I might as well give it a try.
Gosh, I might have some candidates up there someplace. But,
I want to mention, so Michael Mulhern mentioned that he has a e-paper display that will handle video.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to know the model of that. That would be kind of cool to try. Because it would give you a much nicer look than they just have a really nice look to them, the e-inks.
All right, I guess we'll record the outro.
So what are we
talking about?
Yeah,
I do not know. You have any thoughts?
Well, I mean, we have not done a
Do we do a time capsule for September?
Time capsule. Yeah, we have not yet.
We'll go back and we'll look. We'll see what was cooking in either Macworld or Mac Attic. Yeah, that's a possibility. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. We are at the end of another episode of the RetroMacCast. Next week, probably dip into a time capsule, see what inspires us from either Mac Attic or Macworld. Let's see. I guess we've been looking at what Macworld. We've been looking at 90 would be 91. We've gone back 30 years, something like that, and then Mac Attic would be 2001, something like that. Anyway, we'll have to see which one has more good stuff in it. Anything else? You good? Anything?
Nothing
working
else.
on anything? Any projects?
No projects.
Yeah,
about the only thing, like you said, is I'm hoping sometime in October. My wife is going up to Maine, and that weekend that she does, I'm thinking about trying to do a LAN party. So, but
not
my plan
not a Mac LAN party, or
my plan is to do to hook up all my iMacs to do Marathon, but then also have Xboxes with Halo, so we could do. First part of it would be Marathon, followed by Halo. I think that would be kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you hang up your exploded Mac thing from?
Right now it is just kind of behind me between my.
There it is. We couldn't see
Mac
it the whole
Plus
time.
and my iMac. Yeah, my big old head was blocking it, but I do have a spot next to my Yum poster. That I'm gonna
over there in the corner.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, 50 Shades is asking if he can get into your LAN party. If you can
You
got a cable that will reach that
know, there's got to be a way to do that like via
through the
VPN,
internet.
right? To VPN. The whole idea is to make it seem like it's a local network. One would think you should be able to VPN and actually do that, right? I don't know how.
Oh, so we figure that out. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week. Until then, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Haha. We're finished. Oh, what did I say I was going to find? Oh, the sign. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I have that sign.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Apple
right.
dealer
Okay.
sign.
Right. So yeah, if anyone knows how to Scarlet Swordfish, I know you've done a lot of like online gaming streaming, haven't you? If there's a way to have somebody remotely join a local area network, let me know. It'd be very interesting. A retro compute. Okay. So, yeah, Scarlett says he's never tried joining a LAN remotely. Got to look into that. This day and age, it's got to be possible, right? I know this is fascinating. Oh. James is coming back. What's he got?
All right. I didn't find it.
Okay.
I didn't find it in the 2 places that were convenient to look. But I did
Well,
find
I saw you carry something back.
Yeah, I did find something that's similar. That's kind of interesting. Here's an Apple sign that it's got this decal logo on it, registered trademark, heavy duty wood, and it's got the second part. The lower part has you see that?
Oh yeah.
Administration marketing with an arrow going that way.
Oh, very nice.
So
was that actually off of an Apple campus then?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow, that's pretty
probably
cool.
I want to guess outdoors, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like I
Maybe.
can see it looks pretty faded, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm just based on the condition, I don't know, or maybe it was. And the funny is, there's no way of there's no markings like how it was hung. Like there's no hooks or holes or anything. If it's sat in a
could have been
stand,
in a frame or stand, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very heavy duty. It's got these beveled edges. It's it's been beat up. The administration and marketing has been rubbed off a little bit, but anyway, cool little find. 50 Shades of Beige asks, has it got crowbar marks on the edge?
Yeah, somebody pried it up.
When I was there, made off with it.
Let me show you a picture where I got it from.
Midnight acquisition. I'll tell you, when I used to visit there years ago, it probably crossed my mind to run off with a sign or two. Especially back when they had the icon.
I'm really sad I never got to see the icon garden.
Yeah, that's what the icon garden. I'm sure we've done a show on the icon garden.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we know where the icons are?
They ended up in somebody's garage, didn't they? I swear we
garage?
Yeah, somebody ended up with them in their garage. I vaguely remember.
I want to think
us
it was
finding
more
that
tragic
information.
than that it was that they were dismantled, and I did a quick search here, see if I can find it. It's very hard to find anything with just icon garage Apple. But anyway, Scott Sourcefish says, is there an icon garden Lego kit? Well, that would be nice. I don't believe there is. That would be really cool. All right, but yeah, I have seen the icon card. I saw it before somewhere. Maybe I have a picture of it, but and you could only see it like from the outside unless you were an employee and could get in there. All right, maybe a topic for another show. All right, we good, John? Next week, I'll see you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, let's see. I guess I'll just play
That's
us
it.
out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.